for discussion, Larry?
So far you have not tried this on a person, have you, or have you?
We have tried the prototypes with people, but that's ourselves. We haven't tested them with any people with quadriplegia.
Excuse me?
We haven't tested them with anybody living with quadriplegia. We've tested them with in our own mouths.
And are you done?
Oh yes.
The question I'm really going to ask is this something, once you've got it down and it's been, you can do it, is this something that will remain in the mouth where someone will have to put it in because you're dealing with quadriplegics? Someone will then have to put it in and take it out.
That's correct. So right now, sort of as I mentioned, people living with quadriplegia tend to also live with caretakers, and caretakers do handle a lot of hard tasks. For example, getting the person in and out of bed and sort of suiting up for the day and these sorts of things. So the anticipated vision that we have right now is that the caretaker would put the device in the morning, and that way the person living with quadriplegia would be able to more independently go about their day during the day, and then during tasks such as eating and such, still take it out.
Can you not talk with it in?
Right, you can talk with it in.
That's what we're currently doing. Like with the previous prototypes, you could, but you know, it would be obvious you have something in your mouth. We're working towards making something so small that it doesn't interfere with the speech.
Have you worked with people in the dental laboratory, because there are all kinds of very thin acrylics now that can be used for this instead of, you know, heavy objects? Have you worked with anyone in the dental laboratory field to help you with the construction?
So
something palatable for the palate. I'm sorry.
Right now we're definitely trying to push the technology forward, but yes, we have spoken to some dental students and have sort of put out feelers to try and get that next step going.
So I would say that we haven't made a dental mold ourselves. In fact, I guess what we're trying to work with, because we're also students, we're using fiberdom flake. We're using wax to make like temporary retainers. And those will actually hold pretty well.
It's like the good old days of working action.
First, let me say I think this is amazing. You guys are terrific. So, I almost don't even want to ask a question because she's gone so far with it. Wouldn't the ultimate goal be to have something implanted so you wouldn't have to take it in and out every day, and someone could wear it, have a dentist put it in, and you could leave it in? I'm talking, I mean, clearly.
Yeah, that's a very futuristic.
Way out.
But yeah, I mean, at the end, like, this is very progressive. Little by little, we keep making improvements. So at first it was wired, then it was wireless. Now we're making it so small that you can, you know, easily talk with it inside. And little by little, we are moving forward to, you know, our final vision is, you know, not even having to take it out. But it's still a long way before that happens.
Well, it's amazing.
Thank you.
You guys did good.
Thank you.
I'm hoping that we can talk to answer your question, Larry. There are a number of people with quadriplegia at Kohler, and I've been in discussions with them about a number of things, including meeting with those folks over there and getting their feedback.
Sure.
I mean, we're seeing this tonight. If any of the other residents of the island wanted to see it, would you guys want another presentation on it again, or is it too soon?
No, I mean, the more we get to, you know, get feedback and criticism and, you know, and what people think about it.
We're going to be here and tell everybody about it.
So please do.
Yeah.
Please do.
My glove was on there, but nobody can ask a question.
You had a question as well?
Yes, I did. This is, again, future, but it's thrilling. It's absolutely wonderful. How would you get this to the market, and how long do you think that might take?
That's a good question.
There's
right, so this classifies as a medical device. There's a lot of paperwork and bureaucracy. To go to market, we haven't really done a full market analysis, so we can't give you any firm numbers on that. I could tell you that it probably won't be next year.
Time for graduation.
But you know, I think it's definitely something that can keep it. the one thing that's very nice about this is that the cost of the resources that go into it really are not that much. I think especially, there's been previous attempts at making a tone-controlled interface, and in large part I think that they failed because of the times. Right now, the cost of digital components is very cheap. 15 years ago there was something like this, but the cost of digital components was not nearly as cheap.
It's amazing.
Thanks.
Yeah, it was interesting what Margie was saying, because in a way, since you've got teeth, if you do have top level teeth, you could actually have a sensor on each tooth and use that as your keyboard in a way, right? It's kind of interesting. What made you decide on the mouth versus lifting eyebrows or using like a Google Glass to use eye movements, you know, in that upper part that's able to move?
Right, so the primary goal, and actually we do have an extension of this project relating to sort of Google Glass type augmented reality, virtual reality, but the main reason why we chose the mouth was because you can't see any external technology. So if you want to appear as just you, without technology or robots or arms or whatever, it'd be nice if you could just be you, not defined by your technology around you, but just yourself.
And just to add to that, this has haptic feedback. Like when you click, you know, with eyes and all those things, you are never like,
Solid,
you're
sure.
doing it, but
Yeah.
you don't feel it. So.
And also regarding the Google Glass, the idea of using more, we are considering next semester exploring augmented reality and virtual reality,
Yeah.
so that basically it could help interfacing with different technologies around you. So that's definitely something we're considering, but that's again for the future.
Yeah, it's interesting. Thank you.
Is there a way that you could have an external docking mechanism so that somebody could just turn their head and stick it onto a stalk?
We
Take
thought
it
about
out,
that
you know?
actually. That's a bit, I think, a bit further beyond where we're at right now. But we did think about that. I think actually the question, I think we had a discussion with someone with quadriplegia, and they had said that they have a caregiver with them all the time. So it would make more sense for them, the caregiver, to just take it out of their mouth and put a stopper. But we did think about that. That'd be sort of fun.
I mean, on Roosevelt Island, there's a bunch of people that run around the island by themselves without caregivers. You know, if they want to.
Quadriplegia, with quadriplegia?
Yeah, we thought, for example, about a docking station maybe in your shoulder, so that you could just automatically like take it out. But again, that's we're still brainstorming and we're still considering different options.
Have you connected it to an Oculus Rift yet?
That's actually what we're thinking about.
So we haven't connected to an Oculus Rift, but
I want to explain.
Yeah.
an Oculus Rift is this set of goggles that basically have like a computer. It's like a set of goggles that let you experience virtual worlds. So, and they also have a camera, so you can sort of overlay things on real life. So you can sort of, I think actually Rohit would probably give me a better explanation of Oculus.
So it's like a closed box. You put it on, and you don't see the real world around you, but you are in a virtual world. And interesting thing is that a good analogy that I keep making, the biggest problem virtual reality is facing right now is that there are no hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting that people that quadriplegics live with their whole life. As people, we are not able to live with it for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So there will be interesting mappings that come out of it, but like we are far from that. In terms of connecting with other devices, we connected it to an Android phone. So we have tested, like with the second prototype, with the joystick, we tried moving between buttons on a phone. So that works. So
then one more, So the last thing we connected it to, there's a little robot. It's it's like a toy robot. If you guys know a Sphero, do you guys know? No. Okay. So it's like a little robot that's a sphere. You might see them at toy stores, but we connected it to that, and you can roll around the Sphero a little bit.
That's what I was thinking. If you had your robot butler and you could command the butler to help you around the house to do a few things, this would be really terrific as, a next generation type thing. And then for the AR or any HMD, not just Oculus Rift, any of them, like what would your experience be that you're thinking that would be interesting for them? I mean, it's like wearing a planetarium on your head, right? So you're seeing 360. So what would you envision might be helpful?
So it would be interesting if just by looking at things, you would be able to activate them. And then like, so let's say I look at this activates and then I control it with my tongue. So that would be
light switch or clap on, clap off without the hands.
Like those are still the things that I think can just be controlled using phones, I guess. Because with what Sean explained earlier, Internet of Things, everything's connected to the internet, and you could just do it. But still, it would be nice for like extending like the real feel of it. Just look at it, like the way we do it in real life. Just like make it as real as possible as compared to magic, I guess.
So, I have problems when we got on problems, but very often if you type a command into your computer, just to make sure the computer will answer you back. Are you sure you want to log off? Are you sure you want to delete this file? How would someone who's using this device be able to make sure that they haven't done the wrong thing when they,
So I think a lot of this comes out of I think the more the advanced interface testing, but one of the scheme that we're really working with right now is that you can sort of turn on the motion and turn off the motion. So you might link to something. It might be your wheelchair, or it might be the lights, or it might be the TV. And when you link to it, your motions correspond to different controls. And when you don't want to do anything, you push a button and the motions are disabled. So that's sort of the base control scheme we're working with. So you can move around and you can push within this interface, and if you don't want to accidentally have this interface go off, you hit the disable.
And also, the way of communicating with everything else could be via the phone, via the virtual reality goggles. But at the end, if it's the phone, for example, and you want to activate something, it could say, "Are you sure?" And then you confirm. So we could still incorporate some of those things.
What is your YouTube? Is it public? Your YouTube?
Yeah, the link to YouTube. Yeah, it's public. Yeah.
Can you show us on your laptop?
Well, actually, yeah.
Well, so I have a version of the video that doesn't have sound.
You can talk. You can be the narration.
Maybe wait. I'm gonna try and connect to the internet. Yeah.
So speaking of no Wi-Fi, if there was no Wi-Fi, no internet connection, this thing wouldn't work, right?
It would.
Well,
the device itself can connect via Bluetooth to your phone or to your laptop, and then you would have the similar limitations to what you would with a phone or laptop with no internet. But that still would allow for interfacing, say, with a wheelchair. And if any of the devices are on the same Wi-Fi network but not connected to the internet, those devices would still also be accessible. So in the case of, say, the future connected home, your air conditioner or your lights, in theory, would all be on that same network, and so you would be able to interface with those.
Okay, so